Alright, am I good? Alright, so... Sorry for the interruption. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is okay. Hopefully I won't have to suffer this again. So yeah, the court has been adjourned. Let's continue this.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
How can we know it's just another lie? I don't see why I should keep on trusting you at this point.
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Of course.
Well, you both say that,
But explain this first. Where did you actually go, anyway?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
I mean, he did say a minute for a reason.
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while
75?
I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box.
I don't think you have any time for that point.
So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
But did you bump into somebody?
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that was very tragic.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Well, facts are facts, so I guess I have to agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
We do believe in second chances, after all.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh?
Yeah, we already have one.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Alright, another one. Okay, now we got his statement. Now let's put the pieces together and see what we got. And a mysterious voice. So yes, I'm streaming this again because earlier in the afternoon my internet stopped working, causing my stream to like come to a complete stop all of a sudden. So I took a break once in a while, and then here I am. So hopefully my internet won't interrupt me for
Whoever the
any
murderer
disruptions.
was, why would... That's... Paimon hopes he's telling the truth. Doesn't seem likely that anyone could have been there.
Alright, let's continue this trial. Ace Attorney style. The brief adjournment ends, and the nail-biting
Both parties have
adventure
returned to their
continues.
positions. Let us continue the trial.
And giving in to our honorable judge, Neuvillette.
When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
We're gonna put things together. Okay, let's see what we got. Refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The aura trace will display shifts clearly.
Entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
Huh. Would you look at that?
Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box.
Any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Yeah, I got one. Yeah, if this happens again, I might have to continue this quest without streaming it. I might as well do it off stream if my internet does this again.
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced, and what he saw.
Okay, he entered the tunnel and a countdown began. The loud thud. Okay, he knocked out using... Was Liddy in the tunnel at that time? No. There should be loopholes. Obviously, there are no loopholes in this one, because that's clearly plausible. Okay, but the sound, though... Okay, there was an audible thump.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal.
Alright then. How about this one? Damn it. You did... Okay, let's take his statement as a refute.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Okay, other loopholes in this one. He knocked him out using the vase. Moved her clothes. Well... But there seems to be a mysterious voice.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Alright, what about this one? He knocked Cowell out. But... Okay, no. But the purple dress.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
And there you have it.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
No, you're Paimon right.
When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
You gotta give it to Paimon. She really knows how to do this stuff. Alright, let's leave. I thought I could continue on by just not doing nothing.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
I'd say you finally redeemed yourself.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
He only witnessed it afterwards.
That's right!
I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
Yeah, look at you. You said he might have bumped into him, like, for every given reason.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
I refuted Lily's alibi. Do you remember that?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Well, that point has become my crucial weapon. Let's find it. Where is it? What am I looking for? They're all irrelevant. Wait, hold up. It's one of these three. Okay, we got no one goes in and no one goes out during the switching performance. It could be her.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon thinks there's something off here.
Okay, so it's not her. Okay, so maybe the entrances and exits.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
No, we don't.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
She's so cheeky.
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic.
There goes her inner Farina.
Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was... Wait, who is the murderer? Wait, then who murdered Cowell? He is. Okay, if Lenny's no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Okay. There is no third person involved. I'll be for later.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
That can't be right. Are you serious?
It's our only choice.
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Now I gotta recreate. Oh my god. Alright. Let's see here. I've never played a game of Clue like this before. The board game.
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Darn.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lenny as well.
This is more tougher than I thought. Just picking things piece by piece.
The deceased's name is
I guess I'll find out by selecting things one at a time.
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So there must have been... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing...
Okay, who was the prime suspect recently?
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Halsey go?
It would have been fit into that vent. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances.
Crap! Well, I got one thing right. Okay. Oh, there's a question up there. I didn't see that. How can we emphasize Lenny as having been unable to interfere with the crime?
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. I'll have wanted to take Halsey. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Could it be the dress?